Joseph there.
What?
Huh?
拿个两把手椅，给他拍大样。
对啊。
Have you ever been to the circus? Did you enjoy it? Do you like the bright lights? The roaring sound of people? The smell of buttery popcorn? Do you enjoy the animal tricks? If you do, you don't know the whole story yet. We're about to show you the other side that the circus doesn't want us to see. Here is the story of a young elephant called Kenny.
Meet Kenny, a 5-year-old elephant born into the life of the circus. Kenny was separated from his family when he was only 1. He travels from place to place in box cages for up to days. Usually he is forced to walk up to 25 miles a day in the hot sun. He is forced to go through intense training that includes physical beating with long metal rods, shocked with electrical prods, and whipping. When he is sick, his treatment is often neglected. There is never a veterinarian on the site, so Kenny is forced to endure the pain. The performers mask off the miserable faces of these animals during performances. His cries are often not heard. Who will help them? This is not just the story of Kenny, but almost all circus animals go through the same torture. The Ringling Brothers, Carsons and Barnes, Kelly Miller Circus, Big Apple Circus. These are not the only circuses that abuse animals. The list goes on.
I went to the circus when I was a child and knew then that it bothered me to see the animals do tricks. It was just an intrinsic bad feeling that I had. I didn't enjoy the circus child. Like, I loved the animals and loved seeing them up close, but watching them do tricks and seeing the guy with the whip or the poker, I mean, I paid attention to that stuff, and so never went once I got older. I did volunteer at an elephant sanctuary a few years ago, and I spent a whole month at the sanctuary that was for retired circus elephants. And I ended up leaving before my month was up because it wasn't much of a sanctuary as
Trainers used whoops, tight collars, muzzles, electric rods, bull hooks, and other painful tools to force animals to perform. The skin around their eyes, mouth, and anus is where they get struck the most.
So I asked questions, why are you training the elephants to do, to sit up and pick up their legs? And they said, well, so that we could care for them if they were to get hurt. We can approach them, we can handle them. And that kind of made sense, but I didn't understand why they were breeding them, because they were. And they also had a local university in Arkansas coming and doing studies on them, which could be good if they're doing research on elephants, but I didn't really know why they were doing it. They were taking blood samples from them all the time, and it just seemed kind of sketchy to me. At the end of the month, they were doing rides on the back of the elephant around the grounds, and I just don't agree with that. It didn't seem like a sanctuary to me.
An average elephant that lives in the wild lives up to 70 years. But if that elephant is part of the circus, it only lives up to 39 years. The circus takes away baby elephants from their mothers at 21 months to get trained for the circus. Virtually 96% of their lives are spent in chains or cages. They travel 11 months a year over long distances in box cars with no climate control, sleeping and eating in the same cage. A typical circus wild animals is confined to box cages around 300 days per year. When they're allowed out of their cages, these animals are trained using extreme discipline.
Anything that causes animals to be abused. I have a couple of dogs and had pets all my life. No matter what the animal is, if it's a deal or a situation that causes animal abuse, I'm out. I'm against it.
In the year 2000, the ASPCA, along with the Funds for Animals, Born Free USA, and Animal Welfare Institute, filed a federal lawsuit against Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. The lawsuit contended that the circus's treatment of its Asian elephants violates the Federal Endangered Species Act. This is a tremendous victory for the elephants of the Ringling Bros and the Barnum and Bailey Circus, as well as everyone who fought for the change. The ASPCA continues to oppose using elephants or any wild or exotic animals in circuses, carnivals, and other traveling animal shows because the resulting stress and cruelty, as well as inevitable physical, social, and psychological deprivations.
Concerns. I think that we need to look at those very seriously to see what's fact and what's fiction, and if there's a case of animal cruelty or animal abuse, then we need to address those to stop it. If it's a deal leading towards animal extinction, we certainly need to act very quickly to keep that from happening. Well, I would worry where they release them because depending on how long these animals have been at the circus, they may be a little bit domesticated and not ready or able to go back into the wild and survive like they normally would. So I'd have concerns about that. We can't foster, whether we love the circus or not, as an example, we couldn't foster anything that causes animal cruelty or abuse.
Many more organizations like PETA, MSPCA, and PAWS have been working on the same cause of abolishing circus animal abuse.